You're listening to the Davey Mac Sports Program on the Riotcast Network, riotcast.com.
Oh, man.
What's wrong, Pepper?
Davey Mac, I'm looking to buy a new car, and the process is just such a hassle. There's got to be a better way.
Oh, there is. TrueCar.com. At TrueCar.com, you can actually see what others paid for the car you're looking for in your area, so you know when you're getting a great price, Pepper. TrueCar.com.
So I have to go to TrueCar.com, and it'll make this process easier?
Easy peasy. Go to TrueCar.com, get a savings certificate, and just take your savings certificate to the TrueCar certified dealer, so you don't need to worry about the hassle and anxiety of the old way of buying a car. And TrueCar users save an average of $3,000 off MSRP, Pepper.
$3,000? I've only just heard of TrueCar.com, and I feel my anxiety disappearing.
I have no anxiety because of TrueCar.com. Why wouldn't you go? Negotiation-free, guaranteed savings, hassle-free experience, and a TrueCar certified dealer that is committed to a new and better way to buy a car. Save time, save money, never overpay. TrueCar.com.
Davey Mac, I'm going to TrueCar.com right now.
Great job, Pepper.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right up, 1 second left. Down goes Freezer. Down goes Freezer. Down goes Freezer.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. Oh, wow. In your life have you seen anything like that? Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
The band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles?
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program on riotcast.com. And here's your host, Dave McDonald.
Thank you very much, Chris Pepper Stanley.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you very much. Davey Mac Sports Program with you. Talking to you about all the things going on in the sports. My name is Eastside Dave. They call me the Davey Mac. They call me the Sports Master.
Yeah.
That's what they call me.
Some people do.
Sitting with me, as always, Mr. Chris Pepper Stanley.
Thanks for the intro.
Also want to thank our master engineer extraordinaire. Does a phenomenal job with us on the board every day. Shano. We're missing our live in-studio musician tonight, but Roy Schaefer, wherever you are, Godspeed.
God bless.
And, of course, our fantastic intern, Zach, sitting on the couch.
Why are we applauding?
Let's get to the sports, Chris Pepper Stanley, because let me tell you, my friend, if one thing has taught the Dave Man a lesson, it's that weird blue velvet Dennis Hopper fart masks make you score 61 points and make you win championships.
Well,
Because LeBron James, ever since he put on the Darth Vader mask, has been unstoppable after 2 months of being less than LeBron.
and now that this is happening, that mask isn't coming off. But do you see him taking it off?
Why would you?
60, put up 61?
I've got a confession to make.
Okay.
I had a mustache and beard for 6 years. I shaved it off last week. Beginning last week, my life started falling apart.
You've ruined it.
So
you ruined the streak. And to see what happens?
So LeBron, learn from the Dave Man. Wear the mask till the end of time. Even if you're 80 years old, I want you, talking about on NBA retrospective films, back in 2014, I still want the mask on. Listen who else has won the mask. Mr. Bill Laimbeer. Oh, I believe he won back-to-back championships with the Detroit Pistons. Mr. Rip Hamilton. Oh, I believe he stopped the Shaq and Kobe dynasty by winning an NBA championship. Excuse me,
calm down.
but masks, and again, that mask, people call it the Hannibal Lecter mask.
Yeah.
I think of it more as the Dennis Hopper Blue Velvet mask where he goes crazy, and we don't know he was breathing in nitrous or
Well, it
something.
was like a mystery gas. They never really said what it was.
Right.
But it was just some weird drug that got him high.
Well,
as hell.
whatever it was working for Dennis Hopper, LeBron's using the same thing.
Well, the NBA made him change it from a black mask to a white mask for some odd reason.
Okay, well, that's very racist, if you ask me.
It's a bit.
No, I mean, why? The black mask looked awesome.
It looked badass.
He kind of looked like a GoBot. I wouldn't say he looked good enough to be a Transformer, but he looked like a GoBot.
I think there was a Jet Li movie called Black Mask where he was just a guy in a black mask that just kicked a lot of ass. And that's what it just made me remind me of.
61 points, his career high. He was lighting it up. I think he had 25 in the third quarter alone.
He hit his first 8 threes.
It was against, and everyone always wants to throw cold water on it. It was against the Charlotte Bobcats. Yes, he had his first 8 3-pointers.
Awesome.
Reminded me, of the Jordan NBA Finals against the Portland Trail Blazers where he hit 6 in the first half. Obviously, that's a much bigger stage. We're not going to compare it to an NBA Finals game.
Still,
this is a game in March, but still.
When Carmelo put up over 60, everyone lost their mind. And then they said, all right, well, it was against a terrible team.
You can't.
Whatever. It's a ridiculous feat.
And these guys made the NBA.
Sports writers are just dickish at times.
Yes. If you're a sports writer, why are you so mean? What is it already? Leave LeBron alone. I don't know. For some reason, I was on America's side. I hated LeBron in 2012.
Everyone did.
I was like, 2011. 2011 with the decision, the nonsense, all the dancing, the not 1, not 2, but 8 championships and all that stuff. I guess not understanding that Dwayne Wade is going to get old real quick like
Chris
that.
Bosh is kind of going to fall apart a little bit.
Chris Bosh was always overrated, wasn't he? Let's be honest. Chris Bosh got $18 million a year. Chris Bosh.
His biggest contribution was the internet memes calling him a raptor.
Yeah, his biggest contribution is photobombing. Have you noticed this now? Every single time LeBron does, I swear to God, folks, this is true. Every time LeBron does a post-game interview, Chris Bosh has to do some thing in the background, and now he's like bringing props out like he's Carrot Top, for Christ's sake.
Well, they're all friends.
He's wearing watermelon hats and stuff.
They're having a good time.
Well, it's distracting. Okay, Davey Mac is trying to watch good old-fashioned Craig Sager and his loud suits that he wears interview LeBron James. He doesn't need Chris Bosh acting crazy behind him. I'm sorry, Pepper. That's the way I feel.
You got to calm down again.
I'm sorry, but I'm heated up and I'm feeling dandy. I don't know. Maybe cutting off the beard was a good thing, Peppy Hamburger.
You look a lot younger.
I do, don't I? I look about, 4? Would you say I look 4 years old?
Oh.
What if I talk like this? LeBron James is really good.
So I'd be doing a show of the child.
Let me talk to you about something else.
Creepy.
Besides LeBron James that really, really has me angry.
All right.
Like flat out for real. The NFL thinking that it has not gone into official legislation, but the NFL even contemplating a 15-yard penalty should a referee hear one of the players using the N-word.
You're dropping an M-bomb, yeah. That's been talking about for
the
2
hell
weeks.
are you talking about?
They're also saying the homophobic slur.
Okay.
Dropping an F-bomb.
First of all,
other F-bomb.
have you seen Any Given Sunday, NFL?
Everyone says it's a pretty accurate portrayal of
Isn't Any Given
football.
Sunday accurate? I mean, don't offensive linemen throw crocodiles at the defense when they're in the shower together?
People lose eyes also.
No, but I'm being dead serious. You cannot start legislating how athletes talk to each other on the field of play. You know, people used to say Larry Bird was the single biggest trash talker ever. Would go after people's wives, moms. We're talking
Scumbag.
F-bombs. We're talking serious stuff.
Yeah.
Larry Bird would go hardcore. They said Jordan was the same way.
It's a psychological part of the game. Reggie Miller was a terrible trash
Yeah,
talker.
and
he was an awful person.
And Reggie
on the
Miller
court.
just he just didn't hide it, you know. See,
Starks would have put a gun to his head if he had one.
Starks headbutted the guy during a playoff game.
It's amazing.
He got ejected for the next game.
Just from trash talk.
But no. But what I'm saying, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're watching these sports, these guys are going to do what they do best. That's play sports. And a lot of these guys use something to inspire them. Jordan used to make up scenarios of guys talking trash to him just to get himself juiced up for the game.
Yeah, get his head ready.
You know, Larry, see, it's funny you brought up Reggie Miller because he was just so obvious about it with the choke sign.
It was awesome. He was
and all
such
that.
a bad person.
And Larry Bird would just, he'd run past you very quickly. I'm going to kill your parents.
Wait, what did you say
Wait,
that?
excuse me?
What was that, Bird?
Larry, what? You heard me, Dr. J. Your parents are dead meat. Okay, well, I don't know if I have to call the FBI now. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I also think it's incredibly racist in and of itself. Now, what
a
about
bunch of little white men?
what?
regulating
No, yeah,
black guys say.
It's again when white people start, and again, this ain't a political show. This is just a sports show, go fashion sports show. But yet you have to let people legislate themselves sometimes. Sometimes the athletes, when we're talking about language, you let the athletes do it because I hate to bring up these scenarios. What about the Hispanic player? What about the Asian player? What about the Italian? And
well, Tony
and
Gonzalez and Aaron Hernandez are gone, so I don't think there's any more.
No, but I mean for real.
I know.
What's going to happen with all those people? And you brought up, what if there's a gay slur thrown out there?
That's on the table as well. The Players Association saying, yeah, that's come up too with talk of the M-bomb. And dropping an M-bomb could also be camaraderie. Or guys in the same team, dropping M-bombs and saying,
I would never do it. You would never do it. We're not going to sit around and do it.
But it would be great if Tom Brady gets that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see it. Peyton Manning isn't sitting around. What we're saying is we're not naive. That adults are going to talk like adults when they're confined in the company of adults. These are football players. Literally have to be out of their minds to play football.
They're killing each other for 4 hours.
Scary. If I'm the NFL, you know what I worry about? Concussions. Get on it. Because these guys, if I see one more HBO, Real Sports, or
PBS that they put out that
the
documentary.
PBS documentary, which was fantastic. You have now on Showtime. You have 60 Minutes Sports. There's a zillion of these. You have you have E60 on
and
ESPN.
There's plenty of players who would love to go on there and say, "Look, this is what's happened to
right."
me."
And there's literally every single week on one of these various shows, you're getting guys saying, "I can't tie my shoes." The NFL needs to not worry about what players say to each other. This is infantile and ridiculous.
And 15-yard penalty. I mean, come on, 15
yards. I mean, what are we doing here?
Make it an offside.
I mean, for crying out loud. I was at the 37-yard line. I'm getting a 52-yard field goal. You've now backed me up to the 47. Let's see, 17 plus 47. That's a 64-yard field goal. Unless we're in Colorado, I ain't hitting a 60-yard field goal.
And all because J.J. Watt had to run his mouth. Come on.
Ruined it.
You also hear that they're thinking about, they've talked about getting rid of the kick, or the extra point altogether. Now they're thinking of pushing it back to the 20. The extra point will be at the 25-yard line, making a 42-yard field goal.
Okay, stop. Who's ever in charge of the NFL?
They're really focused
stop.
on kicking.
Get the straitjackets out. Do you understand your sport's on top? I know the philosophy. You always got to keep adapting, keep evolving, keep moving. But you don't need. Come on now. It feels like there are clowns and comedians making the rules. So we're now going to be changing the field goal in addition to
the extra point.
The extra point.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It's because it's too much of a given.
That's because it should be. They scored a touchdown.
There's blocks.
The hard work was the 6 points worth of touchdown. We throw the cute little kicker on the field. Blah. He kicks it in and boom.
Yay.
Every once in a while he misses. We go, can you believe this? You text your friend. Can you believe it just happened in the Eagles game?
It was a chip shot.
He missed an extra point, for crying out loud. I heard the stat, and it was mind-boggling. It was
97%
in the thousands, and only four extra points were missed.
Hit 99.
But I'll tell you what, that's still cool. That's still 4 cool moments. The NFL is depriving 4 cool moments and especially if the game comes down to 1 point.
It's like a safety in the Super Bowl, which has happened twice in the last few years, actually.
I know. There's every Super Bowl, there's got to be a safety now. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on, Peppy Hamburger, but I am thankful.
Well, also Richard Sherman weighed in on the the M-bomb talk.
What did Rich Sherman say?
He said it was ridiculous and it's racist.
Good. See, you know what? Richard Sherman.
And apparently, Richard
run
Sherman
for president.
has become like the mouthpiece of the NFL of the player. Like he should be the head of the Players Association.
Richard Sherman is bigger than Peyton at this point.
Because of that, just one post-show interview
it.
with Aaron Andrews.
Well, Bart
Post-interview.
Scott is close to getting a job at CBS because of saying exactly 2 words. Can't wait. Someone says, "Okay, you're going to be going up against whoever next
Patriots.
week in the AFC, in the AFC playoffs. Can't wait." And literally, there's talk that he's going to be the guy who fills it. Remember, the CBS canned Marino and Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
And they got a younger tight end with Tony Gonzalez, who
I got it because obviously he's a Hall of Fame player, but he had that interview in ESPN magazine where he said that Ryan wasn't elite and
smart,
and that he was miserable with the Falcons.
Yeah, he was smart. He was smart.
Those are both accurate statements.
He pulled a tiki barber. Now, what you're going to do is you might get a TV career. He got a TV career out of it.
Yeah.
You're also going to be hated by your teammates probably for the rest of your life.
The Falcons hate me. Roddy White won't return my phone calls. Oh, no.
Well, listen. Tiki Barber tried to get in the Giants' Ring of Honor and got almost booed out of the stadium.
Good.
So, you got that going for you. I actually think Tony Gonzalez got it when... let's see. It must have been not Bengals. The Falcons. The Falcons must have done one of the Hard Knocks, didn't they? Tony Gonzalez was on a Hard Knocks. Was it the Dolphins? Was he playing for the Dolphins at that time?
He was a Bengal before that. It might have been the Bengals.
Okay. Well, all I remember is Tony Gonzalez and his wife were like modern American perfect. Oh my goodness, fantasy dream couple.
Oh, Chiefs. Excuse me. He was a Chief.
Of course, he was the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that they even did the Chiefs. Okay, so when he was on the Chiefs doing the Hard Knocks, him and his wife, who's like a supermodel, and they're driving around in cars that are as expensive as Derek Jeter's salary, and all of this was to make Tony Gonzalez look good. And as soon as that Hard Knocks episode featured, Tony Gonzalez had a career in television.
Well, he's also just a ridiculous player. Like he's ridiculously. He can still play. He can still play.
Then do it.
He can. You know why? He wants to. He wants to play for another team. But if he comes back out of retirement, Atlanta still has him. He wanted to. He wanted to go to the Seahawks last season. He was looking to get traded, but Atlanta
he
wouldn't
should have
do
done
it.
that. Put your money where Pepper's mouth is, then. If you understand what I'm saying.
This weird perception thing in the NFL is crazy. Because look at Clowney. He had that one giant hit, and Gruden going nuts over it.
Yeah,
and he's there talking about going first. I think he's a good player, but that one hit is what made him.
He's going to shoot to the top because of one
hit
play
and one guy going nuts over it.
And one highlight. The power of ESPN is people do not understand it. I actually got to the point where it's subconscious, where you almost don't think a sporting event is real unless ESPN gives it this huge coverage. I mean, there are some times where a sporting event necessarily isn't on ABC or ESPN or ESPN2. Excuse me. And you would think those things didn't exist. I remember them burying a World Series game behind a football game because they had at that time a Sunday night football game, and they were burying some game 2 of the World Series. Excuse me, you can't put the World Series behind a regular season football game.
It's their business, I mean, it's they're.
It ain't my business, baby.
Whoa.
Adam Silver, familiar with him?
Yes.
He looks like Michael Stipe. I don't like it. He's the new NBA commissioner. He's bald. There's glasses. It's scary to me. He's very thin, this Adam Silver.
Still not used to a new NBA commissioner. It's
I know.
so weird
I
to
love
me.
David Stern.
Yeah.
He's just such a nice, cuddly old guy. And this Adam Silver, you got to eat a little. Right? And I'm talking as someone who is going through your struggle of weight loss. We got to start eating together.
Like Dallas Buyers Club?
Like Dallas Buyers Club. Me and you, Adam, let's go out, start having some lunch. Well, anyway, he said he's open to expanding the league into Europe. And he says that while the city of Seattle still does not have a basketball team, for Christ's sakes. Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, they kind of do. The Thunder are the zombie Supersonics,
Right.
as I've seen the
Right.
T-shirts out there. Well, it's smart because Europe has just plenty of players coming in from Europe.
Absolutely. But let's not start talking about putting a team in Portugal before putting a team in an NBA city, which was passionate and fantastic. Sorry, Shano. Shano gave me a look because his wife is from Portugal. I love your wife. I take it back.
You know
Let me choose a different country. I can't. Portugal.
That's the only wait. That's the only country you know in Europe.
I failed geography, bro.
Portugal. How do you know Portugal?
You can even throw out Estonia. But you know why he's.
I'm not. Listen. Up until the age of 29, I thought Portugal was in South America.
Everyone thinks Portugal is Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, I
they
make
just
that.
both speak Portuguese.
That's very confusing for us. Why are you both speaking Portuguese? Why? Okay. Anyway, go ahead, please.
You know the reason Silver's doing this, right?
Why?
He's just taking shots in the NFL because the NFL wants that more than anything.
They want
to go
they
over
want a
to
European
Europe
team.
or
They love
any
that.
other continent.
They want London so bad to get tasted.
And the NBA can just go to Europe and be like, all right, NBA team, let's do it, and people would love it.
Yeah, they could
This is
start.
just an attack on the NFL or just a shot at them.
How weird would that be? Oh, the Knicks are playing the Moscow Cosmonauts today.
Weird.
We're going to have to watch the game at 4 in the morning on the MSG channel. For those of you watching locally in New York or New Jersey or Connecticut television.
The Russian crowd seems pretty, well, they're blacked out. They're not even going to remember
The
this.
Russian crowd is throwing vodka bottles at Carmelo Anthony.
No, he won't be with them. He won't be with the Knicks by the time
Carmelo's gone.
Russia gets a team.
Carmelo's so gone.
Just reading the New York papers and just reading every day there's a new story about how the Knicks are awful and there's just infighting and everyone's just down. And, you know, what 3-4 days ago, J.R. Smith was just saying, yeah, there's no heart on this team. And that's J.R. Smith saying it. He's a pothead, whacked out drunkard.
This was the guy.
I love him. I love J.R. Smith.
I got to say, J.R. Smith, by the way, was if not the winner, was the runner-up, certainly, of Sixth Man of the Year last year. Correct?
No, he was Sixth Man of the Year. He was Sixth Man.
Your job.
And that was the worst thing. Once he got that, he tanked.
Right.
He went into the playoffs.
That's
He was
true.
awful.
He was hideous. He pulled a John Starks circa's game 6 and 7 against the Rockets in the 95 finals for the Knicks and Houston Rockets.
I didn't think Starks would come up twice this podcast.
Right. But let me tell you something about this J.R. Smith. The position of the sixth man is defined by one characteristic: energy. So when your sixth man says, our team lacks energy, you're in trouble, pal. It's time to blow it up. Blow up the Knicks. You know, Pepper, I've been thinking a lot about this.
Yeah.
I'm such a awesome bandwagon fan, and the Nets are playing well right now. I'm going to go over to them.
They've made it to 500.
They've made it to 500. And, you know, in every, I would say, third or fourth game, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Darren Williams are actually on the court at the same time. If you're a Nets, ticket, holder, yeah, you probably made a mistake there because you're not going to get the stars every night.
You got a little bit too excited in that preseason.
Yeah, they kind of forgot about age and health and stuff.
Breakdown.
But I don't know. It's a tough choice. You know me. I'm a bandwagon guy. I go between. See, as a New Jersey guy, grew up in New Jersey. I like the Nets, but I also love Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. I don't know what to do. I don't know. It's hard to be a bandwagon fan between two bad teams.
There's no bandwagon.
This is the problem. Well, no, because I still have stuff I need to watch at night.
Yeah.
You forget. I'm an insomniac. I've got mental issues. Sports helps me with all of those things.
Yeah.
I tape
It's like
games.
meditation.
Exactly. I tape games. I have all of the channels. I tape it all. I watch it all. Okay? By the way, I got to throw this out there too. If you love baseball and you can afford it and you have DirecTV, you get that baseball package. Because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I don't give a damn what the hell is going on in the universe. A giant comet could be coming down right on our planet. Entire civilization of humanity is about to be destroyed in seconds. You will still feel calm when you hear Mr. Vin Scully broadcast a Dodgers game live. And DirecTV, I am a New Jersey resident. Obviously, I would have no access to Dodgers games.
You're not getting local games.
Since I've been getting the baseball package, and again, there is this man is the Babe Ruth. He is the. This doesn't even need to be said, but you might as well echo it once in a while. Vin Scully, I love you. I wish you were my grandfather. Okay. And that's probably going to upset my actual grandfather at this point. And he is listening, Vin Scully. He is. He's a fan of the show. He probably is not now. Now we've lost a subscriber. So really, Vin, if you could start subscribing and listening to the show, then it will equal out. That's all I'm asking.
You're ruining your family relationships
I know,
with
but
the show.
Vin Scully just added us as one of his favorite podcasts.
Oh, or that didn't screw your family then. Sorry, old man McDonald.
One of his favorite shows.
Did you see 42? Speaking of baseball, I just saw it for the first time over the weekend. Did you see it?
Saw it in the theater, brother. I saw it in the theater because of one reason. Harrison Ford playing Branch Rickey. Davey Mac, gotta check this out.
He was great. What'd you feel?
He was a little bit weird, though, right?
I loved him. What'd you think of the film overall?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Okay. It's so obvious to me when Harrison Ford is trying to go for his Oscar moment. That's what Regarding Henry was with the Ritz crackers and and everything.
Harrison Ford's a raging pothead.
And now I know, and so okay, that's fine.
I'm no problem.
I'm not gonna. I'm not.
I think it's a positive character trait.
I'm not saying either or, but so then Harrison Ford. This Branch Rickey was all about him trying to get like a supporting nomination. But he sounded exactly like Harrison Ford. Like it was Indiana Jones yelling at other people. You're gonna treat Jackie the way you treat all the other ball players. Like, why is Indiana Jones screaming at me?
After Jackie messes his leg up and gets the stitches, and he goes in there to the training room to console him. That was the actual moment that he was hoping for. Once the Academy sees this,
I gotta say, I thought on 42, the NFL should have thrown a 15-yard penalty all over that movie. The scene
the Phillies?
With the manager from the Phillies.
Good God.
Redundant, though? I was there.
Wait, no, I don't get it. I guess he's a racist.
Shauno passed me a note. And I thank him for it. That's why he's the master engineer extraordinaire. Reminded me. Brought my little... Because I'm a huge fan of Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Love
right?
him.
Sirius XM's Mad Dog's fantastic. He says, take your kids to it. May absolutely... You bring your kids to this one, you're going to learn a lot. Now, that's not Mad Dog's fault. That's my fault. My child was 5 at the time.
Okay, was it like the scene in the film where I think they're in Kansas City and they
or 3?
Oh, Dave. And they go to a scene of people in the stands.
By the way, I'm just kidding. That never happened. But imagine if it did. How hysterical.
The father was there with his son, and the father starts dropping M-bombs.
Well,
and then the kid starts doing it.
My thing was, oh my God, the kid started doing it.
Any scene in this film with
so
a child is horrendously bad. It's hack. I mean, the baseball scenes were great, and Jackie Robinson's the man.
Some of those baseball scenes were great because a couple times when they were coming in at Jackie, they were trying to brush him off the plate, and they were getting that fastball right by his head. That was more accurate than I had seen in previous baseball movies. They never seemed to be able to get to the velocity of the pitch down.
Yeah.
I thought you're right about some of the best things about 42 were actually the baseball sequences.
Oh yeah, those the only parts.
Yeah, they really did a great job on that. It just kind of sucks that the rest of the movie was a little Hallmarkish, and Han Solo screaming at him, "You're gonna treat him like the other boys."
This was a kid's film, right? Or at least more of like a family film.
And what was with the fake nose on Harrison Ford?
I like the fake nose.
It was totally unnecessary. No one needs a fake nose. We all know it's Harrison Ford. You're not tricking us.
And 42 got a lot of play in an Oscar montage over the last weekend also, if you were watching the Oscars.
I made a prediction on this very show that Harrison Ford would get an Oscar nomination because of it.
What happened?
He made me feel like a jerk is what happened.
Jared Leto destroyed his chances.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. I still haven't seen the Jared Leto Dallas 40. I still call
it's good. It's fun.
I still call it North Dallas 40, by the way. I can't get football and Nick Nolte off my mind. What's it called again?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club.
And I just called it fun. I called it a fun film.
It's fun. It's an AIDS romp. I don't know.
No, it's a very good film. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, 42, solid B. Solid B. The story needs to be told. and the baseball sequences were good. Jackie was good.
I thought Jackie was great.
Yeah, I thought Jackie did a good job.
Every other interaction with other players, like his wife was good. The guys on the Dodgers were great. The kid from Sling Blade.
Did you like the writer? I'm going to tell you something about Sling Blade. Kid's great.
Yeah, he's awesome. Everything he is.
He was the little kid playing football. We'll make this a whole gosh damn sports package right now. I'll give you 3 sports movies that little kid from Sling Blade was in. You've just named 2 of them. Give me the last one.
Well, technically, car racing is a sport, so I'll say Tokyo Drift.
Okay. Screw you. Not Tokyo Drift. Sports. We're in America. Come on.
All right. Was he in the football movie
with
Clooney, Leatherheads?
No. Sean.
Friday Night Lights. Oh,
Friday Night Lights.
I'm a moron. How could I not get
He
that?
goes from playing a game of touch football with Billy Bob Thornton
A
and Sling
convicted
Blade.
murderer.
So I'm going to consider that now a sports movie. 2, playing actual football in Friday Night Lights, which to me is the single best football movie ever made. I know it's controversial, but
Better than Any Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday you and I love because it's fun and because people throw crocodiles at each other. Okay? And because Lawrence Taylor somehow cuts Jamie Foxx's car in half.
And he also gives a great speech in a sauna.
Yeah, I mean, but it's silly. Friday Night Lights, I thought, was just absolute. I think Friday Night Lights is a fantastic film in general. And then this kid then he's Pee Wee Reese, isn't he?
Yeah, Pee Wee Reese.
Oh my God.
Shortstop.
You young man, you have a career in sports movies though. You know, I don't know if you can be like maybe
And
like an
Fast and
NBA.
Furious 3.
Fast
Just
and
give
Furious
it to
3.
him.
Okay, Fast and Furious 3. Russell Wilson is like Mr. Multitasker over here. He's doing the football. He's winning the gosh darn Super Bowl over here. Then he's playing with the Texas Rangers.
Suits up for the Rangers.
Scouts have said if he concentrated on baseball, a no doubt about it second baseman in Major League Baseball.
All right, look.
A no doubt about it, Major League ready second baseman.
Wilson has a Super Bowl ring, and he's going to have a giant fat contract as long as God, forbid, nothing happens to his health.
Right.
Kaepernick, 3 championship games, losing in 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He'll probably get a fat contract. And he has a monster arm. If these guys went to baseball, their contracts would be gigantic.
Oh, they have no idea.
It would
It'd be
be
something
guaranteed money
for life. Plus, the baseball union is the strongest. It's the strongest labor union, not just in sports, in America. The baseball labor union is so strong. Your pension is phenomenal. When you retire from baseball now, you get taken care of. That's the biggest problem that Mike Ditka has with a lot of these modern superstars. Ditka has gotten mad at Drew Brees and saying, okay, it's cool that you're doing the number one thing and all that kind of stuff. When are you going to speak up for us vets? We can't walk around. We're having problems walking, for Christ's sakes.
Not just walking, thinking, remembering things. It's terrible.
So Russell Wilson, how awesome would that be if we had ourselves another Bo Jackson? Well, on Florida State, the kid who just Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
He wants to be. He actually says he wants to be this generation's Bo Jackson.
Please do it.
We need one. We need a Bo Jackson.
Either him or Johnny Football should do it.
If you grew up in the 80s or just lived through the 80s, Bo Jackson was so much fun. It was like, oh yeah, there's that human cartoon, Bo Jackson.
And then it became a literal cartoon with Gretzky and Jordan. Yeah. And then there was that amazing 30 for 30 last year.
Yeah. It always was confusing when real people would then get cartoons made of them.
Sure.
Like I was, when Mr. T had his own cartoon special,
yeah.
I was like, well, is this the real Mr. T? Is he even
of.
voicing? No, it's not kind of. So he's, I've heard rumors of this now, Russell Wilson, Dancing with Stars?
Dancing with the Stars have been going after Russell Wilson multiple times over the last 2 years. They've been trying to get him. And he's had to politely decline.
I'm glad he had to politely decline rather than dropping F-bombs and getting 15-yard penalties. So why do they want Russell Wilson so badly? I know they love the former athlete, and they seem to be in love with the former football player.
Yeah,
because
I think Emmitt Smith won.
Emmett Smith, and we've had Rice on the show. We've had a lot of what's his face, Heinz Ward's been on Dancing with the Stars. They love their gosh darn football players.
Whoever's the producer for the show just has
I
a
guess
hard
it
on
makes
for
sense too. You know, a football player's got to be one of the best not offensive linemen or defensive linemen necessarily, but certainly skilled positions. You're usually in great shape.
Yeah,
you know,
and you have foot ability. Like you have good feet.
Mets fans from the '80s are going to enjoy this, but you're not going to get Sid Fernandez on the goddamn Dancing with the Stars. I'm sorry. Somewhere there's a Sid Fernandez fan enjoying that. And
that's something special for him.
That's something special just for you, okay? Who was, by the way, Pepe, despite the large derriere, a very useful pitcher. Okay, he was a contributor to that '86 championship team.
What do you think of the Mets pitching now? Because the Yankees are barely being mentioned in the back pages. It's all about these new kids.
Oh, I forgot. Did Matt Harvey miraculously heal and is ready to start pitching now in April?
Well, the Sarsgaard kid, I'm sure I just butchered his name.
Yeah, no. I asked about Matt Harvey.
Oh, no.
Their
He's
Cy Young
far away.
Right, okay. When Matt Harvey returns to the team and is healthy, then talk to me. You know why, Pepper?
Why is that?
Kerry Wood. Okay? Does that name sound familiar with you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, it should. Because we get lots of these flamethrowers. This guy's instantly going to the Hall of Fame.
This new kid they're
they
talking
get
about is
hurt,
what, 22?
and they're out.
22 years old.
Mark Fidrich. Okay. Detroit Tiger, late 70s.
Love him.
He was called the Bird.
The Bird.
He used to talk to the baseball.
It'll always be remembered.
He would go and talk to the baseball before pitching, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, it was the 70s.
It was
Things
nuts.
got weird. Things got weird in the 70s.
Well, he had a phenomenal rookie season. Everyone's like, this guy's going to be a 10-time All-Star. Bam. You know how he got hurt? Similar to Mariano, shagging flies in center field.
Good God.
These pitchers got to stay out of the outfield, for Christ's sakes. Let Bernie Williams be out there.
He's playing goddamn jazz guitar. He's doing both at the same time.
What's going on with Richie Incognito? We haven't checked in with him in a long time.
Look, up until maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'd forgotten completely about the Richie Incognito Jonathan Martin thing. I literally it was just out of my mind. Like, who cares? Now there's a couple of things. Last week there was a report of someone destroyed his Ferrari, and turns out it was him.
Okay.
He was venting, and then after that, he ends up he checks himself into a mental institution.
We all do have to vent, Richie. We all do have to vent. You have no idea.
And then before all that,
can I just ask Richie where his car is? Because why don't we at least allow like everyone to vent on Richie's car? It's been vented on already. I've got like 20 or 30 minutes of venting to do right now as we speak. Richie, just give me the address. I'll go to your car. Boom. Charge me $5. Call it the goddamn, I don't know, the Richie Incognito $5 vent mobile.
It's like the goddamn video game Final Fight where you just destroy a car in between rounds.
I don't know what you're talking, okay, bro?
Street Fighter.
And Street Fighter, yeah.
Yeah, I was a Street Fighter guy. Final Fight.
Now I feel hurt.
So this guy, the guy who, the red-haired guy from the Sandusky case, what was his name? Mike McQuarrie.
McQuarrie, yeah.
He was the assistant coach who actually walked into the shower, if you remember this story, and actually observed Sandusky doing something sick with the kid.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit, I still don't know exactly what it was. I'm looking at this article here because it says it's slapping noises. He's insinuating, bad things.
Yeah.
He's now saying he was abused as well.
Jesus Christ.
Question.
Yeah.
He took a lot of flack for not instantly punching or whatever.
Yeah, interfering.
Taking care of the situation with Sandusky or certainly calling the police. Does this now get him off the hook for that?
Oh, God.
I know it's a tough question. That's why I asked it. That's why I asked it to Pepe Hamburger, the question master.
I do not think this gets him off the hook. I think this would put him more on the hook since, all right, guy, you may have experienced something like this, some sort of molestation.
That's how you and I would react. We would see blood red, and yes, we would
no one does that to anybody else.
We would,
It's like the Hulk.
But I actually, I got to tell you, not just a red-haired thing, but, You know what? I actually see his thing. He must have been so shocked. And if he was abused, I mean, it's a terrible story, but you just got to be like, what the heck? And just frozen. So, to me, all right, Mike, you're off the hook now. Because I, too, was one of those people who, and plus, because of the red hair, I thought he gave all redheads a bad name. Just like him and Mr. Eric Stoltz. Don't think I've forgotten about you and what you did to my cousin Albert.
Is he looking for payback?
He's looking for, yeah, that's right, Sean. Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
No, the red hair guy from
the red hair guy
shower scene.
Yeah, of course, Sean.
But is he looking for money now?
$4 million.
Here, this is funny. Look at this. Former Texas Rangers second baseman.
He's suing Penn State.
Ian Kinsler. He got traded to the Tigers, and he goes out and says, I hope the Rangers go 0 for 162.
Can we take it over under on that?
I got friends.
Davey Mac wants to make some money.
I hope they lose their ass.
I lost a lot on the Super Bowl. Boy, I had that wrong. I had a route written all over that one.
A lot of people did.
For Denver. Oh, God, Peyton. What happened? What happened,
Well,
buddy?
he faced the defense.
Question, before we go into that.
No.
That's that Ian Kinsler thing. Will Peyton Manning ever win another Super Bowl?
No.
Or was that his best chance?
No, that was his best
That
chance.
was his best chance.
All right, look. He had the best statistical offense ever in the NFL.
Season of all time. He was the best.
And he gets murdered by the Seattle Seahawks.
Destroyed.
Like it was
Destroyed.
never, it was obviously never ever
Destroyed.
close. It was
The
a
only
joke of a
question
game.
with the Seahawks that you wonder is, are we seeing a possible 85 Bears situation where they couldn't keep the team together? And B, they just couldn't keep themselves together. McMahon, those guys, they were partiers. They were a little bit loose. And they that team should have won 3 Super Bowls. Or will they be the early 90s Cowboys? Which I think they could be, which was phenomenal defense, phenomenal offense, more than capable, Hall of Fame potential quarterback, bam. So the question is out. Which do you think?
I mean, they lost. Look, they got healthy right at the right time, and if they can stay healthy and keep this team together, they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's just too damn good.
2 Super Bowls? 3?
They'll win 2 more Super Bowls.
Prediction from Dave Mann.
Yeah,
10 Super Bowls
in a row.
In a row.
Greatest franchise of all time.
I'm putting a lot of money on it because I think I'm going to get a lot of money with this 0-162 Ian Kinsler bet.
And I guess all their players will just...
I'm taking the over just in case people want to know. In case, I don't want to ruin the Vegas odds. I'm taking the over. I think they're going to win a game. I'm just crazy. But in 162 games, why is Kinsler so bitter against the Rangers?
And this is the funny part. The Rangers manager, Ron Washington, actually had to come out and address this and had to say, we won't go 0-162. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'd hope so, Ron.
We know. You would be the only team ever to do so. Yeah, we apologize for the season we had this year. 0-162. We promise to get a lot better next year.
Kinsler masks look like jerks.
But Ian was right. Who would have thought that a second baseman made us from a 90-win team to an 0-162 team? Boy, sorry. Ian Kinsler, come back, please. By the way, that's a perfect impersonation of Ron Washington, in case you're wondering what he sounds like. Why is it everyone who leaves the Rangers talks crap about them?
Look, this is,
like what's his face?
This is why Kinsler's so pissed.
Josh Hamilton, though, did the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember, on his way out, though, he goes, those fans stink anyway.
Well,
Why not say that there to get the enthusiasm of the fans up when you're actually there on the field?
It looks like these guys have beefs with the general manager, John Daniels. That's what Kinsler at least is pissed about. That he thought that Daniels pushed Nolan Ryan out the door.
Yeah, see, that was the number one mistake that the Rangers made. It was the number one brilliant move that they made by bringing in Nolan Ryan, who
hell
was
yeah.
Mr. Texas. I mean, seriously, if we had like some sort of weird presidential election and Obama and Romney won, but somehow Nolan Ryan was allowed to run for Texas, he would be the president of Texas.
Oh, I would love
he would
it.
win in a landslide.
I'd move there.
Obama and Romney would then have a chance. It would be President Ryan down in Texas. So to hire him was smart. He seemed to be a smart baseball guy. They got to the World Series
They were
back-to-back
doing well.
years. Man, I mean, they were this close away from beating the Cardinals. Whatever. I mean, meltdown city with that thing.
Yeah, I mean, come on. He couldn't will them to win.
And so then to force, Nolan Ryan out is just a terrible, terrible mistake. And by the way, it's why it's sometimes a mistake in general to hire legends. Because ultimately, if the team goes bad, then you're firing a legend, and then there's bad vibes and everything. All this kind of stuff happens.
Would you call Don Mattingly a legend?
Donnie is a legend for Yankees fans
Of a certain era? All right.
But he's not a legend. No, absolutely not. First of all, to be a legend, you have to be a Hall of Famer, and I don't even think to be. I don't even think being a Hall of Famer makes you a legend.
Do you think
like for instance, let me give you an example of somebody here. Well, Phil Rizzuto, for instance, is in the Hall of Fame as a player, not as an announcer, but as a player.
Yeah.
He was not a legend. Look at his career stats. He had a couple good years. He actually won an MVP. People don't know, but this is not a legendary ball player.
No, he's a good player.
Yeah. Legend is for, the absolute guys who have won multiple rings. Go ahead.
Well, I say Don Mattingly because do you think he should still is a jinx for real? And is it Don Mattingly?
Yes, he is.
Is he going to ruin Puig's? Is he going to ruin Puig's career?
He might.
Will he have a hand in that?
By the time Puig retires, he will have no legs left.
His back will be bad too.
It's I love Donnie so much. I still have 3 Don Mattingly posters in my garage, by the way.
How old are you?
I'm 36 years old, and I have 3 Don Mattingly posters in my garage. Okay?
Weird.
You got a problem with that? It's right next to The Empire Strikes Back and the Guns N' Roses Live at the Ritz with Axl screaming into the microphone. You got a problem with that? Then you come over to my garage and take them down. But you got to give me ideas of posters you're going to substitute them with first.
Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong. You weren't even trying. You weren't even trying. They're not even athletes. I told you, Don Mattingly posters for crying out loud.
I know. Wait, can I get throw another one?
You're supposed to be substituting athlete posters.
Can I give you another one?
Where did Cheech and Chong come out of?
What about one of those 3D posters? You have to stare at them for a long time, and then you see an image.
Yeah, because those are real fun. You're just sitting there. I'm not seeing anything yet.
Keep looking.
It's a schooner.
This was worth $12.
I still don't see it. I know. You know what? It was just a junk. It's just a piece of white paper. I've been lying to you all this time.
Gotcha, Dave.
But I've been staring at this thing for 8 hours. I had to go to work today. And oh boy, fired again.
The Astros' first baseman, John Singleton, has come out and said he's a marijuana addict.
Well, good for you.
And he was in a month.
Can we have a
stay at a rehab?
Can we have a segment? Can we have a segment called Unnecessary Confessions?
Oh my
You're confessing that you smoke pot with 90% of professional athletes.
Here's what he says. At this point, it's pretty evident to me that I'm a drug addict.
Oh my god.
I don't openly tell everyone that, but it's pretty apparent to myself.
There are studies upon studies that in the NBA, in the NFL especially, and even in Major League Baseball, marijuana use is very prevalent, and it's used by a lot of guys. This guy does not need to come out.
You're the
Case
Major
in
League.
point.
You're the Major League Baseball Association, and you're gonna just say I smoke too much pot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Shut
know.
up.
I don't know what he's talking about. No, it's
Look at Rasheed Wallace. Look at the career he had.
Why did he need to even address this? No one knows who this guy is. I'm sorry, but you're not Mr. Ian Kinsler. We want Ian Kinsler talk.
He's a 22-year-old baseball prospect playing for the Astros. Of course you're going to smoke a lot of weed. You're 22 years old, and you have unlimited money.
In some ways, though, I mean, listen, I'm not advocating use of anything, but they have medical marijuana to chill people out. Maybe we should be looking into this for athletes. I don't know. Call me crazy, but maybe it's healthier for you than half a bottle of Jack Daniels the way they used to do it in the olden days with Mickey and those other guys who ended up all needing liver transplants.
Didn't Pete Carroll say that weed should be legal?
Yes, he did.
God damn, I love
Take
him.
one look at Pete Carroll. And
He's
tell
a deadhead.
Tell me he's not into dead, and Jimmy Buffett was what I was going to say. You could just see Pete Carroll like, yeah, man, was at the dead last night. Now I'm going to Jimmy Buffett tonight, baby. Woo! From trucking to Margaritaville, dog. Anyway.
I love Pete Carroll.
Sean O,
Sir, it's time.
let's take us out. And we want to thank everybody for listening today. Want to thank Mr. Chris Pepper Stanley.
Thank you, Dad.
Want to thank our engineer, Sean O. I would love to thank our intern, Zach. We missed our keyboardist, Roy Schaefer, but that's okay. He'll be back. We will be back very strong next week, Tuesday, around this time. So be with us. And there you go. Davey Mac Sports Program. Good night. Woo!